Trump's agenda includes to build a wall and get Mexico to pay for it, suspend immigration completely, increase deportations of all undocumented immigrants. Only the strong survive presents to you Immigration in America. Remembering that immigrants impact America, we took to Virginia State University's CAF to ask people how do they feel about immigrant workers in America. And here's what they said.
Class, and it matters to BSU because we're all immigrants. So we're like coming together to stand as one, basically, for today. So how do you guys feel about that?
I think it's terrible, the boycott and everything Trump's doing. However, I would like to take action, but I mean, I got shit to do.
So you don't feel like eventually this will affect you? Everything that's going on in the country will affect you?
Some of it will. The immigration ban personally will probably not, but there are other things that you would like to do that would.
How will it not?
There's immigrants that come here to work for businesses that you might own, that teach your kids, that go out and build.
The HBCU that you attend, I'm pretty
Bro,
sure.
like half of our teachers are probably teachers.
Yeah, the building that you're probably sitting in right now was probably built by immigrants.
The place you get gas from.
Where the food is imported from, the food that you're eating right now, the headphones that you're listening to, all of that.
I know it'll impact me, but he's the president. What the hell can I do?
Why don't you think it won't impact you? When you said
It won't impact me directly, as a person, in my personal life. It'll impact other people who I come in contact with. But me, as a single human being, in my little sphere of existence, it will not affect me. That's what I was saying. I, as not an immigrant, will not be affected. I wasn't saying that it won't affect people I care about.
How are you not an immigrant?
By Trump's definition.
From here. Trump doesn't define anything. Does he define things in your life?
You want me to pull up Webster's dictionary?
I don't need you to pull up Webster's dictionary.
I'm saying I'm personally American born.
So?
So I'm not an immigrant. I have immigration heritage.
Earlier today, most people don't understand the immigration process to get here. It's not it's not I'll put up today, maybe next month. It's a year. It takes years for you to get here as an immigrant. So I feel like before you complain about a situation, about policies, please take the time to read the policies, understand the policies, and know what you're talking about. So that's the only thing I have to say when it comes to that, because I feel like there's too much ignorance about the immigration situation going on, but it's not a lot of knowledge or people to be educated about it first. So
the Muslim ban that goes hand in hand with the immigrant ban, boycott today. So we want to know y'all thoughts on what's happening today.
How do y'all feel about that?
Because basically we're all immigrants, the only people that belong.
We even met with a former military vet and got his opinion.
25 years old.
Okay, I'm 78 years old, so there's a big gap between us, and there's a big experience gap there. So my experience is not your experience, and your experience is not my experience. Now, see, I don't agree with what they're about, and the reason why I said that is that my time frame is different. Okay. I marched with Martin Luther King and that whole bunch back there. I was in World War II. I was born during that time. I've worked in this country and have done very well over the past 55 years. That's a lot of experience. I've got 2 masters and a doctoral degree and a master's of divinity.
But do you feel
But then I work with young people like you. I've done that all around the country. The 55 years I worked.
Right
So what?
Do you feel like it's right what Trump is doing to these people?
Oh yeah, I feel like it.
is right?
Right, that's my opinion now.
Okay, no, yeah, I just want
But-
to know your.
Yeah.
So you don't think you're an
he's the
immigrant?
president, we got to go with what he says until it's proven wrong.
But it has been proven wrong.
Well-
In the Declaration of Independence, it states that if we feel that the president and they aren't, because right now, sir, it's turning into a dictatorship.
Okay.
It's not a democracy.
So you don't feel that you yourself are an immigrant?
So what?
You don't feel like you yourself are an immigrant? You yourself, you hear at the HBCU every day that are filled with immigrants all around the world. HBCU accepts these students. They teach these students. And they encourage these students to go out in this messed up world and be somebody.
I went
But
to HBCU
right.
school.
So what I'm saying is that how
went
do
to school
you,
here when it
how
was
can you
when it
possibly
went to
agree with what's going on if you work here at an HBCU who accepts these immigrants? Whose immigrants took off today, that was the building that Pierre that was thrown down, they took off today to stop working. So how do you yourself agree with what's going on?
Okay.
All right.
I have my opinion.
All right, and I'm just feeding you a little knowledge since you said how could you not speak on something you didn't know about. So I just thought I'd educate you a little bit.
Immigration has been a major topic since the beginning of the United States of America. This phenomenon is what helped the establishment of this country. Even today, it continues to have an impact in most of all of our lives. The subject has also brought much criticism and created divided opinions about its immediate and long-term impact. See, migration itself is not a problem, but the modern dilemma of who is allowed to migrate and reside permanently in the country legally is. It is interesting to explore this topic under the theory symbolic interactionism. This theory brings us a closer understanding to reasons why illegal immigration is controversial today. Symbolic interactionism can be related to the term illegal immigration and some of the other words that derive from this. The main idea covered and supported by this theory is the fact that communication is based on the exchange of symbols. In a sense, language, words, etc. are symbols, and the terminology given to the current social problem contributes to the creation of the perceptions that people have. For instance, when an average American thinks of the word illegal immigrant, the first thing that comes to mind is a brown Hispanic immigrant, most likely somebody from Mexico. See, all you have to do is change that one word, illegal, to undocumented, since in reality, that's what the individual is because they're not properly documented, and that oftentimes never is registered as a present in the country. But by just changing that one word, your idea of what that person is changes. Illegal, undocumented.
Later that day, we got some words from the Honorable Dr. Z.
Oh, I'm not an immigrant. The only people who could say they're not immigrants are the indigenous people. So the reason that I'm attached to the struggle is because I'm an immigrant worker just like everybody else. I provide a labor here. This is not my native country. My native country is Africa. I was born here in order to provide labor, and so I have to pay attention and stand in solidarity with the laws that are breaking up families because they no longer want to pay for that.
Virginia State, as an HBCU, stands in solidarity. I am an immigrant worker.